I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look. The city eyes. It's time to Bogart. My God, a real nigga. Cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls if you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit fitted, times two. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Offense taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope failed. Shall become a man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Marquardt, telling me how the crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Poke us out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tantrums. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen prophets under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradon, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
Run that shit up, Trey.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord. Told that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm too hardcore. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Barcelona like my Nina.
Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. I'm Priest and Officer Tapazar. This is ISUPK Killeen Brotherhood class. Go ahead and clap it up. So today's class, you understand, is really dealing with value. You understand? Value is how, is how the economy is set up. It's how exchange of goods and services is set up and structured. Value. You know what I'm saying? What people place value in is how you determine, what you're willing to pay for, what you're willing to purchase, what you're willing to sell. And for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, because we have been, we've been raised amongst our enemies, raised amongst our oppressor. Our values have been misplaced. The Most High, gave blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, something, that was very valuable, a culture, you understand, an identity. You know what I'm saying? And more importantly, he gave us himself as a power. You know what I mean? Whenever you're trying to acquire something or, do business, trying to do a deal, a lot of times, man, you have to have a co-signer, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's gonna, provide collateral. You know what I mean? Or collateralize the debt, meaning that somebody that's going to back up your transaction, like what you're trying to do. And, if you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you know how hard it is to try to get a car loan, a house loan. You know what I'm saying? When they do give us access to loans or funding, it's with ridiculous interest rates. You know what I'm saying? To where you're paying more for the loan than you were for the actual item you were trying to acquire, whether it's a house, with the mortgage, or a car with the auto loan, you know what I'm saying? And that's the system that we live in because, we're on the bottom and our oppressors and our enemies, these are the nations, they're on top. And being raised amongst oppression, you know what I'm saying? If it's almost inevitable that without, guidance and proper instruction, you're gonna value the things that destroy you. You understand? Right now in this society, man, it's all amongst the culture. You know what I'm saying? Especially right now, man, and it's dividing the household. It's dividing the house. You know what I'm saying? We're already divided by, perceived nationalities, right? By the labels that were given to us by our oppressors, you know what I'm saying? Like, being called a Puerto Rican, being called a Mexican, being called the so-called African American, you know what I'm saying? Being called Haitian. We already look at each other as different just from those lines, which are really, which really are lies. You know what I'm saying? Like we're a family, but we're also separated amongst class lines now as well. You know what I'm saying? Which bleeds into the household. You understand? There's a war going on right now that was instigated by the devil, by our oppressor, between our sisters and our brothers, and is based on economics. You know what I'm saying? The story of the serpent in the garden and how he approached, the sister Eve, man, it was to drive a wedge between, you know what I'm saying, that woman, that sister, and that brother, who the Lord brought together to build a family and build a nation. But, the serpent offered her something that she felt like that she was missing. And, to make her feel like that she could rise above, you know what I'm saying, her position that the Lord gave her, you know what I'm saying, in terms of being a helpmeet to that brother. You understand? And, Adam and Eve were the first brother and sister that were raised in the truth. You understand that? When you talk about them being the first, that they were the first, man and woman raised in the truth. And for us in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, or if you are watching this, you know what I'm saying, and you're interested in the truth, you understand, you have to understand that, you know what I mean, you have to know what our currency is, you know what I'm saying, amongst our nation, amongst within the kingdom, how our transactions operate, because, you know, living in this society, living in this hell, we place our value on money, you understand, or, you know, education, you know what I'm saying, or you know, like the neighborhood that you live in, the house that you have, the car that you drive, you know what I'm saying, how many women that you've ran through, or if you're a woman, you know what I'm saying, the status of the man that you're with. This is why you know what I'm saying, in Houston or in California, you know what I'm saying, the NBA weekend or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying, like the city gets flooded with sisters trying to go to these games, you know what I'm saying, putting on their most whorish outfit, you know what I mean, to be seen by, hopefully to be seen and caught by, you know, an NBA player, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, like 50 said, have a baby by me and be a millionaire. You understand? Like, that's the goal, because that's where they place their value at. You know what I'm saying? And our King Yahweh Shah, he said, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. You understand? But in this culture, in within our nation, that's the most high. You're not gonna be able to make moves by being wealthy. That's not what's gonna gain you you know what I'm saying, credibility with the Most High. And the main reason why we feel that way is because of the Christian church. Because the Christian church has associated righteousness, or associated, you know what I mean, having favor with God by being wealthy. You know what I'm saying? And what that has done is made us hate the very people that the Lord cares about the most. You understand? The Lord is not worried about the rich. You understand? Because why? The rich have a means to take care of their problems. You know what I'm saying? On their own. You know what I'm saying? Or through their network. You understand? But the poor is who the Lord is looking upon, because they're without defense. They're without help. You understand? They don't have anybody to come to their aid, man. You understand? And the problem is that living under the oppressor, what we end up, like, you know, a lot of times, man, we wonder why our people, you know, are always trying to, you know, save the other nations, you know, more specifically the white man. Why? It's because, the reason being is because they don't necessarily have love for the white man. They have love for the white man's position, his power. You understand? It's not that they love the white man. They don't love him. They know he has no rhythm. He has no flavor. He can't, you know what I mean? He doesn't really do anything well, but, you know, the things that he does well is what got him into power, which is, you know what I mean, being a liar, being a deceiver, being a thief, you understand, and being a murderer. You understand? That's all he's ever been. Those are the only things that he does well at. You know what I'm saying? That he's perfected. You understand? Everything else that, you know what I mean, that makes the world, you know what I mean, give it any life, comes from so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, whether that's music, you know what I'm saying, cuisine, you know what I'm saying, even design and, like, in labor, you know what I'm saying, like, we, you know, you watch our Issacharite brothers, man, build a house. They even the way they do it is filled with salt. You know what I mean? Like, the way they work together and come together and get the objective and the goal completed and done. You know what I'm saying? It's with salt, man. You understand? Everything we do, we bring flavor to it. So the only reason why our people, you know what I'm saying, have love for our oppressors, because they feel like the one thing that he has that we don't is power. You understand? They feel like what they desire is that power, and they feel like that power comes from riches, and so we end up, you know what I'm saying, lusting after riches, and it's heavy because we deceive ourselves in thinking that by loving him that we'll attain the power that he has, and, you know, it's another lie. You understand? It's another lie, and it's why we accept that false image of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Cesare Borgia is because, you know, we feel like that he, you know, him being put in that position is, you know, of power is because God favors him, and that's the order of things and how God wants things structured. You know, there's a I can't think of the brother's name, but he's a, you know, he's most certainly a, you know what I'm saying, a coon, you understand? But I think it's Robert Lee or something like that, Jesse Lee. And he has a television show, man, and I seen him on what's that? It's a white TV host that Oprah put on. I can't think of his name right now, but I seen Jesse Lee on this television show, and he was talking about how, you know, how white people need to have more babies because, you know, the only reason why the world is held up and in order is because there's white people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And I can't think of the host's name, man, but he's looking crazy, and all the white folks in the audience are feeling uncomfortable, but because it was a black man saying it, you understand? And they know full well that, you know, the looks on their faces even showed that they know that they're the devil. They know that everything is held up because they're the foreman, but they're not the laborers and the workers. They're not what actually do the building and actually make things. They just, you know, they're bad managers. They're not even good managers. They're bad managers, man. You understand? They don't even know how to manage properly. You understand? But they sit on top of everything because our people are on the bottom, and it's a dangerous thing when you begin to identify with your oppressor. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get to a scripture, man. And because what happens is that you feeling like that you can be like your oppressor. You understand? It causes you to deal with your brother in the way that your oppressor would deal with him. You understand? Because, you know, your oppressor hates the poor, then you begin to hate the poor, even though you're poor. And what does that mean? That you end up hating yourself. You understand? And but the Lord, that's not the currency of our culture. That's not the currency of the kingdom. That's not how you're gonna gain anything in the kingdom is by hating your brother or by looking at your brother as you know, the gum on the bottom of your shoe, man. You know what I'm saying? When the hell that your brother and your sister is going through, it's the same hell that you're going through. But you feel like, you know, people have all these these little new phrases nowadays, like, you know, think and grow rich, and, you know, you gotta manifest this. All you know, even that word manifest, it sounds like a Disney Tinkerbell, you know what I mean, fairy dust magical illusion. Like, and the reason why we, you know, our people have even gone to gathering stones, like wearing stones to attract wealth. This lets you know the level of destruction that our people have entered in by envying our oppressor. You understand? By envying his power. And let me pull a precept before I get to this one in Proverbs. You understand? One second. This is something that King David said. You understand? Like, we have to understand that, you know, where power comes from, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 62, verse 11. Okay. Power is not in riches and in wealth, man. You know what I'm saying? Power belongs to one source. You understand? This is Psalm 62, verse 11. Actually, I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, "Trust not in oppression." You understand? And what does that mean? Trust not in oppression. We've seen everything that our oppressor has acquired and gained for himself has been through oppression. It's been through him crushing, you know what I mean, the 12 tribes. You understand? You know what I'm saying? He came to the shores of this country, man, and oppressed the Gadite, you know what I'm saying? The Reubenite, you understand? The North American Indian, the Seminole Indian. He, you know, when he came here and he was in a weakened state and didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying, adjust to the climate of this land, didn't know how to get the food and how to make, you know what I'm saying, to get supplies and resources. The North American Indian, the Gadite, they show brotherhood to this, you know what I mean, to this oppressor. And in turn, you know what I'm saying, you know, like General Amherst, you know what I'm saying, gave them smallpox blankets, massacred their villages. While when they came to them, you know what I'm saying, not knowing how to survive the winter, how to take the bear skins and the elk skins and the buffalo skins and to keep themselves warm, the Native Americans, the indigenous, they came and welcomed them in and taught them how to survive. And in turn, you know what I mean, they murdered over 77 million of them, man. This was how our oppressor came into power. He didn't come into power, you know what I'm saying, through any other means, but through oppression. And then took their land and to destroy the Native Indian, the Native American, you understand, slaughtered the buffalo so they wouldn't have a food source. You know what I mean? And a supply line of food. They caused the buffalo to damn near go extinct, just so they could make sure that the Native Indian wouldn't rise and be strong in numbers, and then put them on reservations. Put them on reservations, man. After massacring, you know what I'm saying, men, women, and children. You know what I'm saying? But when you're living under oppression for so long, you begin to say to yourself, well, the only way to come up is to murder, to steal, to kill, and to lie, because that's how I was in a room on fan base the other day, and there was some brothers. They called themselves the Brotherhood, the Black Brotherhood, and they were basically trying to say that the crack epidemic was a missed opportunity. That even though that drugs were destroying our people, you understand, having mothers abandon their children, having you know what I'm saying, families destroyed and separated because, you know, it turned uncles from strong black men into, like, you know what I'm saying, just crack fiends stealing TVs from their mama's house. You know what I mean? To get a you know what I mean, to get a fix. You know what I'm saying? The drug wars, you know what I'm saying, through the police departments that came in and, you know, kicked in doors and locked up our brothers and sisters and put them in the prisons to where they were able, you know, to where able now that, you know, they have slave labor in the prisons and they're getting funding from the government, from the state for filling up the beds and the rooms in the prison houses, man. You understand? Destroyed our community. And these brothers are on there talking about how it was a missed opportunity financially because you had a few drug dealers that made millions, and they could have took those millions and, you know, rebuilt the community, which is it's asinine thinking. How can you build the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community while simultaneously destroying it? See, that understanding, you know, in the 80s, you know, it was something called Reaganomics, and what it was called was trickle-down economics, meaning that if the rich stayed rich, them being rich and in power and building businesses, it will trickle down to the poor, to our communities. And what these brothers were saying, you know what I mean, in this dialogue on Fanbase, which if you're not on Fanbase, you need to go ahead and set up an account on Fanbase, because that's where the ISUPK has migrated to. Clubhouse is no longer the ground that we're taking, you understand? You go on Fanbase, you know what I'm saying, set up an account. It's basically like Instagram, Facebook, and Clubhouse, you know what I'm saying, merged into one. Even kind of like Snapchat too, you understand? It has all those capabilities on there. You can post your pictures, post videos, post reels, you know what I'm saying? Do messaging, you understand? And at the same time, you can have conversations. So if you're not on Fanbase, go ahead and set up an account and a profile on Fanbase, and, you know, and become a member of the One West ISUPK on Fanbase. You know what I mean? Where we're gonna be bringing this truth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We pray every time, you know what I'm saying, to open up the internet, and that's what we got to do. We got to take ground where everybody is moving to, man, to get this truth out. But while these brothers were having this dialogue on Fanbase, they adopted the mentality of our oppressor. You understand? Which really, the oppressor knows that trickle-down economics ain't, you know what I mean? It's not even trickle-down. It's trick-down. You know what I'm saying? It's just language that the oppressor used to maintain his position on top. But our people actually believe that there's some type of, I don't even know what the word is, some type of practicality or legitimacy to how the white man is in power, and they try to take it on for themselves. You understand? When the Lord did not give us the culture that he gave us to operate in that way. So let me read this in 62:12. Trust not in oppression. All right, the book of Psalms, and become not vain in robbery. You understand? Like vain means worthless. Like don't take on the idea that you can rob your people and then still help your people. You know, like I'm trying to think of a movie with Denzel, American Gangster or Hoodlum. You know what I'm saying? All of our movies where we're trying to get money and get status and get a position off of destroying and harming our brothers and sisters, man. And we feel like there's like, we try to find the silver lining in it. Well, yeah, I sold drugs, but I took the money and I'm giving out turkeys every Christmas. I'm giving back to the community. Well, it's to me, I look at that as like, it's like a vampire. You suck the blood of your victim, and then because you bite them and don't kill them, you say, well, now you're a vampire too. Now you'll live forever. But now they have the same disease that you got. Now they got the same lust for blood. You know what I'm saying? And this is why our oppressor makes those movies. Like the concept of a vampire, the oppressor, he's really just showing you what he is in the spirit. You understand? That's what he does, man. He feeds off of you, and either he destroys you and kills you, or he leaves you alive only to continually drain your blood, or for you to serve him to where now he's a master over you. You understand? And we feel like we can become that and be successful. And really all we're doing is like, we become the devil ourselves. The very thing that is destroying us, we become that thing to our people. All right? Why? Because we're in search of power. But that's not where power lies at. You know what I'm saying? Psalm 62, verse 8. Trust not, Salakia, verse 10. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Meaning that don't, if you catch a lick, or they call it a windfall, meaning like you might get an inheritance, or say the government gives you some type of aid to where you have some money that you've never seen before. Don't set your mind on that, man, because riches is not what gives you rapport with the Most High. The Most High owns everything. The Most High he created human beings. He created the things that we lust after, the gold, the diamonds, the gems. You understand? The metal that creates the cars that we want to, spend money on. If we really sat back and thought about the things that we harm each other over, the things that we betray each other over, you understand? All of this is what God has made. You understand? And if God has created it and made it, and he's our power, then why are we chasing the carrot? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all ever seen that before, but it's like an old cartoon or an old, image of how they would ride a donkey. They would have a fishing stick with a carrot on the end of the fishing pole, and he would put it in front of the donkey because he wants the donkey to move and carry him where he wants him to go. So he dangles the carrot in front of the donkey, and the donkey is moving because he's pursuing the carrot, but he never gets it. But what? The rider on his back gets to his destination and is able to utilize him. You understand? And that's what this is, man. Our oppressor hangs these things in front of our face. You understand? You know what I mean? And the entire society contributes to it. He hangs Christmas in front of us. So now we have to fill up the Christmas tree with presents and gifts for our kids, or we're not good parents. I'm not a good father. So I'm going to go out and move this pack and sell this weed so I can get this money together for Christmas and look and be, have respect or esteem in the eyes of my women or my children. You know what I mean? That I'm a good provider. You understand? Or, Valentine's Day. I got to go out and buy all these flowers and take my woman on a vacation, you understand, to some exotic island and fill up her hotel room with rose petals and wine and chocolates, you know what I'm saying, and 1,000 balloons and give her a roll of cash to make her feel like I love her. You understand? That's not what the Lord gave us as a culture, man. You understand? This world, this society that's ran by our oppressor, it's off of money. You can gain position through money. You understand? You can bribe your way into position. You understand? And really, you hear it in the phrases. You got to spend money to make money. You understand? It's not what you know, it's who you know. It's not who you are, but what you're willing to do. All this stuff lends itself to being a coward and being a hypocrite and compromising your, you know what I'm saying, your values. You understand? We have to come back to what the Lord gave us, man. You understand? And that's what Dawood, that's what Dawood is saying right here, King David. Trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, don't set your mind on it. You know what I'm saying? If the Lord blesses you, you know what I'm saying, with a come up, you do what's right and give your 10% to the priests and prophets. You give it to the Lord, man. You understand? And then, I'm not saying that you can't, set up a business or, do what it takes to be able to make it better, to make things better for your family. But that shouldn't be the priority, though. The priority should be, living according to the ways that the Lord gave us, to be separate from these other nations. Verse 11, God have spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongs unto God. And that's the problem, man. We look at our oppressor as being God, the God of this world. You understand? The God of this society. And so we want to imitate him. You understand? So let's go to Proverbs chapter 3. That's the problem with our people, man, is that we envy the devil. You understand? We envy the deceiver. You understand? Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. And it reads, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. You understand? Because our oppressor is the thing that God hates, man. You understand? Yahweh Shai is called a savior. What is he saving us from? He's saving us from oppression. He's saving us from those that destroy us to make sure that they stay in power. But so how are we gonna turn around and then try to do the very same thing that the Lord is trying to save us from, man? You understand? Let's go to let me see here. Let's go to Proverbs 28 verse 3. You understand? Like I was saying, in these movies like what was it called? With Wesley Snipes and Chris Rock, New Jack City, right? You got a particular set of brothers that come together, you know what I'm saying, for one cause, and it's to get rich because they hate being poor. And that hatred of poverty is which really kind of translates into the love of money. It's nothing more evil than that. Now, am I saying that you should love having cockroaches in your house and not enough money to buy, a loaf of bread and milk? No. I'm not saying that you should love that, but you shouldn't despise that either. Because the one thing that's good about, not the one thing, one of the things that's great about the Most High is that he's not gonna, you don't have to be rich for him to rock with you. You don't have to be wealthy for the Lord to love you. You understand? You know what I mean? There's another medium of exchange with the Most High, man. And it's righteousness. It's brotherhood. You understand? And those things, well, they do cost, but they don't cost you nothing that's material. You understand? It's gonna cost you, you know what I'm saying, from a spiritual standpoint. It's gonna require sacrifice, long suffering, patience, faith. You understand? But you have that in abundance. You can the same way how the Federal Reserve prints money. You know what I'm saying? They going, you know what I mean? The debt I think is like at $3 trillion, and all they do is just print. You know what I mean? Every quarter they just print a whole bunch more money. You know what I mean? You can manufacture and produce courage, faith, integrity, loyalty. You understand? By making those decisions every single day. You understand? And you can produce that by having to go through what you go through every single day. You know what I mean? For us that are in relationships and married, You have to show patience every single day. That's there for you to produce. You know what I mean? The moment a situation gets you frustrated, there's only two things you could do: either be impatient or patient. Either show loyalty or be disloyal. You understand? You can have courage, have courage, and press forward. You know what I'm saying? When you're being tested and tried, you understand? It's there for you to produce. You understand? And God looks at that and He honors that. You understand? When the Most High told Abraham to go and sacrifice Isaac, his only son, that was a test, and that test was there for the Lord to see, was Abraham really rocking with the Most High. At this point, Abraham already had hundreds of cattle. You know what I'm saying? Thousands of cattle, hundreds of servants. You understand? He was a wealthy man according to what the world would say, but the Lord wasn't looking at what he had materially. You understand? The Lord wanted to see if he was rich towards God. And you show that richness, you show that wealth by being obedient. You understand? By doing what the Lord commands you to do, man. By loving your brother. You understand? Like, that's how you show wealth with the Most High. You know what I mean? But what we do, you know what I'm saying, in this society is that we envy the oppressor, and then we try to, you know what I mean, choose his ways, and we destroy our people. But we never ever reach the goal that we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And then think about it. Even if you do reach that goal, how did you get there? You've built your whole foundation on the blood of your own people, on, you know what I'm saying, on the destruction of your own people. We see that with like in the music industry, right? Cardi B, Sukianna, Sexy Red, they make this horrible, trash, garbage music that destroys the minds of our young people, man, our young brothers and young daughters. It reduces the value of how a sister is supposed to be regarded. You know what I'm saying? In the minds of our young brothers, and then it causes our own sisters and daughters and nieces, and you know what I'm saying, to devalue themselves. You understand? And they produce this music to do what? To change their lives, to get out of poverty. But then when they're in a position and they have wealth and riches, what do? They protect their children from you know what I mean, from that culture. They hide it from them because deep down they know that is destructive. We know that because we saw the video with Cardi B, right? She's on Instagram Live or whatever, you know what I mean, her live or what have you, and she's playing her music. And then when her daughter comes down, she's quick to shut the music off. Well, why? Why is it not okay? Why is it okay for your music to be heard by all of our daughters, you know what I'm saying, on the radio, on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, on Pandora, but then you want to protect your daughter from it? You know what I mean? It's just so you can become rich. We have to learn the currency of our culture, the currency of our kingdom. All right? This is Proverbs. Let me see. Go to Proverbs 28, verse 3. Yeah, man, like, you know, New Jack City, man, you know what I'm saying? That brother, Wesley Snipes, man, the role he played, man, you know, he thought by handing out turkeys to the community that he was doing something that was righteous. You know, I mean, what is a turkey once a year going to do? I mean, that's one day out of 364 days or 65 days, whatever it is that make a year. One day they get fed a turkey while the people that are coming to you are on crack. They're addicted. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're destroyed throughout the year. And then the one day out the year, you hand out backpacks to the kids or back to school clothes money. But when they go to school, there's crack vials in the playgrounds. There's shootouts on the playgrounds where kids are getting shot going to school because brothers are battling over territory and corners. What's the benefit of it, man? You can't build your community while you're destroying it. You know what I'm saying? That's not practical. All right? This is Proverbs 28, verse 3. It says, a poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaves no food. I'm going to read that again. This is Proverbs 28, verse 3. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food. What does that mean, man? Well, we know that, you know, being a farmer, you know what I mean, you have crops, you know what I'm saying? You plant seed. You need rain to help your crops grow. All right? So there's a rain that comes that can actually leave you food. That's what it's talking about. Right? The rain comes, it waters your crops grow stronger, and you're able to harvest those crops, you know what I'm saying, have food for your family, and then be able to sell those crops, you know what I mean, to gain money, right? To buy more seed, to buy more equipment, you know what I'm saying, to be able to repeat that process, right? But it's talking about a poor man that oppresses the poor is like a sweeping rain that leaves no food. What is that like? That's like a hurricane that comes through. Yeah, a hurricane it has clouds, it has rain, you know what I'm saying? It has wind, but when it comes through, it's not a rain that's going to leave food. It's a rain that's going to destroy. You understand? It comes through and it destroys your crops. It destroys your land. It floods your land. You know what I mean? It's so much water to where the ground gets, the seed that was planted, it gets turned up because the ground is being overran, and now it's all mud. You know what I mean? It's like the hurricanes that happen in Florida, man. It destroys everything. You understand? That's what it's like when a poor man feels like he can come up by oppressing somebody else who's poor. Because you think because you make a little $50,000 for the month, you know what I'm saying, that you didn't came up. When you got to, you know what I mean, now you got to buy guns, you got to pay off the police, you got to pay your workers that's selling the drugs. You understand? Now, then you got to pay off the, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, whoever works in the bank, you know what I mean, to try to wash your money. And then you're really left with nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you still remain poor. So you have to go back out there and do all this destruction to your own people just to try to get some type of profit, you know what I mean, for yourself. So now you've left nothing in the community. You've left nothing. What you host a basketball game for the kids and buy uniforms and set up a little donation of $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like you've left no food. You've left nothing substantial within the community that everybody can thrive off of and truly grow. You've destroyed the ground that you grew out of, you understand, and you've left no food for anybody else to eat off of, man. All because you envy the rich and you envy their power and you envy the oppressor, man. You understand? That's not what the Most High intended for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You understand? That's not what he gave us, man. And well, we have to understand that being poor is not a sin. That's what they teach in this society. That, you know what I mean? That's why we have all these get-rich-quick books, and everybody's thinking about the come-up. Everybody's trying to hit 6 figures, trying to get the bag, when with the Most High, man, that don't mean nothing to him. As a matter of fact, let me find this scripture. I'll paraphrase it, but I want to go ahead and bring it out. You know what I'm saying? The things that are respected in this society to the Lord, you know what I'm saying, is pork. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let me get this scripture. Salakia. Yeah, Luke 16, verse 15. Y'all can go there. The book of Luke, chapter 16. You know what I mean? We look at Puff Daddy and Jay-Z and Beyonce and Rihanna, and we think, oh, wow, man, like they achieved so much. But, you know what I'm saying? And that's their goal, right? You know, everybody's goal now is like to try to be a billionaire. I'm a manifest being a billionaire. When the Lord could give a damn about how much money's in your bank account. You understand? That don't mean nothing to the Most High, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, let me read this real fast. This is perfect, man. I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, no servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. That word mammon just means wealth or riches. You know what I'm saying? This is Christ, Yahweh Shah, saying this. You can't serve God and serve mammon. Now, am I saying that it's not that you can't have a good job or have a business that makes, good income? That's okay. It's not wrong to try to produce something that can help your community, help your people out, build something that you can give jobs to people. That's fine. But this society, it's always like this get rich quick thing. You understand? People are willing to do anything to get wealthy, to try to ease the hell and the torment that they're going and living in this hell. You know what I'm saying? It's get rich or die trying. You know what I mean? By any means necessary. And that's not how the Lord wants blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to operate and to think in their minds. You know what I mean? You got to place your value somewhere else, man. And our value should be in the power that gave us the culture that will cause us to rule the earth, to rule the world. You understand? Verse 14, and the Pharisees also who were covetous, which means like they cared about status. They cared about money and wealth and material possessions. You know what I mean? Their job, this is why it says that, our gates languish, because our leadership doesn't care about our people having morality. They care about them being in a position to where they don't have to suffer the same hell that the poor suffer every day. Instead of working towards, speaking up for the poor and trying to get justice for the poor, they want to make sure that they don't suffer the flames and the hell of being impoverished. So they sell the poor out, they sell their people out to get a position with the rich. And really, they're just dogs under the table eating the crumbs that fall from the richest table, because you're never going to achieve, through trying to love the white man and attain some type of position in this society. You're never going to achieve the Jeff Bezos position. You'll never achieve the Warren Buffett position. You'll never achieve the Richard Branson, position, the Elon Musk. You're never going to achieve that. The only time that's going to be achieved is when Christ returns and destroys this place, man, because that's the only remedy to put blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians back in their position, is Christ coming and destroying these kingdoms and these governments of these nations, man. There's no other remedy. But in the meanwhile, while we wait, and when I say wait, I don't mean twiddling thumbs. While we wait for, not even wait. While we work, let me say that. While we work until Christ comes, man, we should be utilizing the currency of the kingdom, which is brotherhood, man, which is loving each other, man, which is pulling our resources together and using all the salt that the Lord gave us to make something great, man, that everybody amongst our people can enjoy. All right. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things and they derided him. When our people hear us, when the rich of our people hear us say that money isn't everything, that brotherhood is everything, when our sisters who are caught up in, the lust of this of the eye and the lust of the flesh and the pride of life, when they hear us say that you should love a man not for his financial position, but because he's going to be an honorable man and love you and treat you right, we get derided, we get laughed at. I was in a room today, man, where I guess Tyler Perry had put out a statement, or he was being interviewed by somebody. They played the audio, so I didn't watch this video, but he was being interviewed and he was talking to a sister, and he was saying a lot of our sisters are making way more money than the brothers are. He said there's some brothers that are doing well, but in the majority, it's the sisters who are making the majority of the money. And he said they're going to lose out trying to find men who make more than them. and they should, you know, choose brothers that even though they make less, if they treat them well and love them, that they should choose them, you know. And I'm in this room with these sisters, man. There's at least 30 to 40 sisters, man. Salakia, and they all was trashing Tyler Perry, and it's crazy because sisters usually love Tyler Perry because to me, I won't say that. I'm gonna say it. You know what I mean? The brother, to me, the brother's been questionable since he started putting on dresses and wigs. And I know in the entertainment industry, that's what they promote for our brothers to do. We saw that. We heard Dave Chappelle came out and talk about that. How, you know, he was on a movie thing and they want him to put on a dress. He was talking with Oprah about that, right? So to me, any brother that puts on a dress and a wig, you know what I'm saying, like, you questionable to me. But, you know what I mean? And even in his movies, it's always been geared towards the women. It's to make them feel like, you know, I can do bad all by myself, and you know all the movies that he did, man. You know, it's caters towards women. So to hear him say this, I was even surprised. I was like, man, it's kind of crazy that Tyler Perry's saying that. You know what I mean? I thought he'd go like the T.D. Jakes route and don't settle for less, only accept the best, and the Lord got his, you know, the blessing for you. You know what I mean? Because, you know, he be up in T.D. Jakes' church. I remember T.D. Jakes, it was a video I seen, T.D. Jakes anointed Tyler Perry and called him a minister and gave him he anointed him with the oil. That's crazy. T.D. Jakes, who gave his church to his daughter. His daughter runs Potter House now. T.D. Jakes anointed Tyler Perry. So to me, they was all in the same clique to me, man. Like, you know, teaching our women to, you know, I don't know, man, like just, you know, moving like the serpent, teaching our women to you know, get out of the position that the Lord gave them, which is an honorable position. You know what I mean? Because the Lord got his structure for a reason. You understand? Like, being a helpmeet is not like it's you could say it's a lower ranked position, but it's a necessary one because the Lord realized that we needed help. So it's not you. It's like, if I come into a situation, like, okay, if I come into a situation and say a brother or a sister, like, their car is not working, and I have the knowledge of a mechanic, like, for me to come in and help, you know, okay, for instance, I remember one time I was on the highway and the sister was on the side of the road. She had like kids in the car. I pull over and I'm like, hey, sister, you okay? You know what I'm saying? And actually, I'm gonna do a better example with me and Karab, Officer Karab. This is like when I first came into the truth. We was coming back, I think, from Houston. I don't know if it was a feast day or we just coming back from class, or we was out there, and me and him was rolling together. And we come, and there's these sisters in the middle of the road, and their car is shut off. So me and Karab, we park right in the middle of the road. We put the hazard lights on. We get out. We like, yo, what's going on? Y'all all right? It was like, no, our car ain't working. But they're like stuck in the middle of the road, and it's oncoming traffic. So I get out there. We stop the traffic. Me and Karab, we get in there. We tell her, hey, we say, hey, y'all go ahead and put the car in neutral, and we come and we push the car into the parking lot. You understand? I think it was like a fast food restaurant, and we made sure that they had their car parked so they could call for like roadside assistance or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, in that situation, we were the help. You understand? That didn't make us less than because we had what they needed to get them into a better position. That really made us like the saviors. You understand? But it wasn't our car. You understand? They couldn't pay us for anything. You understand? All we could do was help them and then go on our way. And a lot of times, man, because we're in this raised in this society where we feel like everything has to be transactional. What do I mean by that? What I'm saying is that we feel like we have to get something in return for what we give. And when you go into a relationship like that, you've already sabotaged yourself. You understand? Because you're looking for a payback. So it's, what do you bring to the table? What are you gonna give me? When we have to realize that the roles that the Lord gave us, they're not based on that. You understand? The woman was created, her sole function was to help the man. And the man was created to serve the Most High. You understand? So we get glory by serving the Most High as men. Because why? When we follow the Most High's commands, that gives us honor amongst the nations. Now the other nations look at us and say, oh, look, it's such a wise people. What nation is like this to have a God that's so close to them, right? When our sisters come in order and follow our example, they get honor and glory. Why? Because they're following the commands and they're in order of their men. So they're dressed modestly. They have discretion. They don't talk a lot. They don't gossip. They're about their business. They're about their families. They're about making their children strong. They're about making their husband strong. And that builds up the nation. You understand? But now it's become, why I got to be a slave? Why I got to serve my man? Why I got to do this? And really what they're saying is what do I get out of it? Why am I going to serve a man for 30 years and just make him dinner? What do I get? Why? Because that dangling carrot. In their head, life is being on a beach in a swimsuit, you know what I'm saying, drinking mimosas, having brunch, having an outfit, being on Instagram, having the attention. Look, y'all, I have a man. And I have this dope body. I have a BBL. And I got rings and a necklace, right? And I'm you know what I'm saying? My kids are dressed in the finest clothes. And look at y'all, look at all y'all, look at me. To them, that means something. But to the Lord, it doesn't mean anything. It's just your covetousness, man. You only want this because you've seen somebody else that has it. And that's what the scriptures say. Don't covet. Don't covet after the wife that your neighbor has. Don't covet his fields. Don't covet his cattle. Don't covet what he has and desire that for yourself. Why? Because eventually you'll get to a place to where you'll do something that's unlawful to try to acquire that. You're looking at his wife, it's like, dang, he got a bad wife. He got a bad rib. Man, she look good. And you thinking about it, you're not saying like, the sister's a beautiful sister. Really, if a brother got a rib, you shouldn't be looking at her at all. You understand? You know what I mean? You should be regarding her as your sister, as you would your own sister. You understand? But really, I don't look at them at all. I don't even look at them. It's like I really don't even like. In the UPK, we do it because we have a higher standard. So we're friends with the ribs of our brothers. You know what I mean? On Facebook and stuff. But to be honest with you, I really wouldn't even do it. It's just the culture that we're in, and everybody in the UPK has integrity. So we don't worry about stuff like that. You understand? But really, I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to really communicate with a brother's rib at all. He's my brother. That's his property. All right, it ain't got nothing to do with me. You understand? But the Lord made a law and said, don't covet after her. Why? Because you start to meditate on how beautiful she is and how she looks, and then now you talking to her. You know what I mean? You having small talk. Now it's like, hey, maybe now it's conversation, texting, and then now you cross the line and you go into adultery, man, and you violate that brother, man. You violate the respect between you and that brother by touching his property, man. You know what I mean? But overall, the spirit of it is that the things that we try to acquire in this society is because we look at other people. That's what Instagram is, Facebook is, and we look at their lives and say, dang, my life ain't like that. A lot of times sisters are depressed and want to have a relationship, not because they're ready for a relationship, not because they're ready to be a wife. It's just because they want to have a man because they feel like I need to have a man because she got a man. When am I going to get my man? Right? And then what do? Now you go into you're really not even that type of a sister to go out and dress, like a whore. But now you want to dress and imitate what you see on Instagram because you feel like, well, they're getting all the attention. The men are liking those posts. So I want that attention too. I want a man. So now I'm going to start dressing like this and talking like this and acting like this. You understand? When really the solution and the answer to have a righteous man is in this book. You understand? It's in this book. You can come into the ISUPK, sister, get cleaned up, learn what it means to be a princess, to be a virtuous daughter, a virtuous sister, and a brother's going to see the value in you and the value in that. You don't have to imitate and covet what you see going on in the world. You understand? To get you a righteous brother. You know what I mean? All you got to do is do what the Lord said. But we always trying to go outside of the Most High to achieve these results, man. You understand? Let's keep reading. Salakia. Verse 14. This is Luke 16, verse 14. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him. Verse 15. And Christ said unto them, Yahushai, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men. That's what we see on Facebook and social media all the time, is people justifying themselves before men, right? I seen a post with a sister, and I know the sister, and she was like, y'all want to criticize me because I got 3 baby daddies, but they all take care of their kids. Some of y'all don't even got one baby daddy that take care of your kids. What was she doing? She knew, because like, it's all, it's a whole thing now of trying to disrespect sisters if they got kids by different baby daddies. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, but we all got, as far as the Most High is concerned, we all, Black Hispanics and Indians, we all jacked up. If you ain't circumcised on the 8th day, you to the Lord, you a baby mama. You know what I'm saying? If you was smoking weed, or you was a crackhead, or you was sleeping with prostitutes, the Lord look at it all the same. It's like y'all all jacked up. You understand? But here we look at it and we say, hey, this sister got 3 baby daddies and 6 kids, and we like it's like it's a shame thing, right? And we do need to grow out of that. You understand? We need to let sisters know that when you have sex with a man, that's your husband for life. There should be no baby daddies. The man that you lay with the first time, which is, I know it's not necessarily the reality right now, right? But that's where we're gonna end up moving towards. You know what I'm saying? In Christ's kingdom, that's gonna be the currency. If you're a woman who has more than one man, you're not gonna be viewed as valuable in the kingdom. You understand? And we should, and that's what we're trying to teach our people right now, is that Christ said, don't say, is the kingdom over there or is the kingdom over there, because the kingdom is inside of you. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for Christ to come, but the way that we're supposed to be living, the culture that we're supposed to be living in, is right now. You understand? Christ is not coming to build the kingdom. He's coming to rule over it. Meaning what? That we're already supposed to be in the process of establishing this thing by the time he shows up. You understand? So, sisters, if you are in that situation where you have had children with other men, right, and you have a man now, or you don't have a man now, you don't have to look at that as a negative thing anymore. Because why? If you come into the truth, if you get cleaned up, you are a new creature. All the things that was done before, it don't matter no more. You understand? You're a new thing now. You understand? And that's how the Most High look at you, and that's how, in the UPK, how we're gonna look at you as well. But the sister on Facebook, of course, she don't know about the truth or anything like that. You know what I mean? And she sought to justify herself in her position by saying, yeah, I may have 3 baby daddies, but they all take care of their kids, trying to balance the scale. When, sis, you can't wipe away the shame of you being a whore, which is what that is, because you've moved from man to man. That's whoredom, right? You can't wipe away that shame by saying at least the men take care of their kids, because that's not your glory. That's their glory, if it's glory at all. Because taking care of kids is what you're supposed to do. It's not like you're gonna get a gold star. You know how they give out the gold stars when you was in elementary school? You get the little chart with the gold stars on the board. You don't get a gold star for that. You don't win a prize for that. You understand? So this is what Christ is telling the Pharisees, you justify yourselves before men. Because now you got the long white robes, you sit in the seat of Moses, you're the religious leaders that have the position of authority over the people, you understand? When really all you care about is being in Rome's pocket. That's all you care about. All you care about is that you're not where the poor are at. You feel like you separate yourself from the poor, and now you're close to the rich. When the Romans look at you as trash, just as much as trash as the people that they're oppressing. They look at you the same way. And really, it's like the police, man. If you ever been, you know what I'm saying, in that life, you know what I mean, in that life in the streets, the police don't respect snitches. They don't respect people that sell out their own people, because what every practical person understands is this, right? If you would sell out your people that you were raised amongst, right? You would sell them out for a bag, right? Then I'm not even your people. So what would you do to me? The police understand this. The police have what you call the blue wall of silence, right? Which is unrighteous, where they'll cover for their fellow police officers whether they've done right or wrong, right? Especially if they've done wrong, they'll have a blue wall of silence. But then they'll tell you you know what I'm saying, that you need to come clean and say what happened and make and tell you to snitch. But they got a blue wall of silence. So even they understand, like, you don't flip on your own. So when you turn on your own and sell out your people to get in position, they're looking at you crazy too. You don't get no respect for that. You understand? That's what I'm saying. Like, you feel like you got currency in this kingdom. I'm talking about in this society. When to the Lord, you just, you know what I mean, you've destroyed yourself. Okay? Verse 15, and he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but God knows your hearts. Meaning God knows what's in your mind. You acting like you righteous, but God knows this is all about you getting in position to be wealthy. You don't care about what's the suffering of the people. God knows what's in your mind. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of God. Meaning the things that men value, wealth, notoriety, status, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, power, to the Lord, that's like, it's pork. It's you know what I mean, it's an abomination. The Lord's like, I don't deal with that. You know what I mean? And if we say that we serve God, if we say we love the Most High, then we should value what the Most High values. You understand? And what I'm telling you is this: if you are, I mean, really, blacks and Hispanics, for the most part, we're all in poverty. None of us are out here just, you know what I'm saying, just with, you know, making it rain. We don't have it like that, right? So what you should be encouraged and feel good about is that the Most High, he don't need you to be wealthy for him to be with you. And that's what Christianity teaches. They make you feel like if you have a good job and you have a nice car and a nice house and you know, people come and help you out all the time, that God is with you. No, that's not the case, man. Let's find out, you know what I'm saying, how the Lord feels about the poor, all right? You know what I'm saying? Like, your currency with the Most High is not money, man. It's something that's better, and you have an abundance of it if you choose to utilize it, all right? Salaki, let me pull this up. All right, let's go to Proverbs 19:1. Okay? The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 1. All right? You know what I'm saying? You being poor doesn't disqualify you with the Lord, man. Actually, it you know, the Lord is actually like, he's looking at you. You dig what I'm saying? All right? Chapter 19, verse 1. Better is the poor that walks in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Let's read that again. Better is the poor that walks in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. You understand? Because it's foolish to think that, you know what I'm saying, that the money is the means to the end. That, you know, I'll compromise my morality and my values to get the bag, because once I get the bag, it's on and popping. You'll see these little games people do, like on the internet, or like they'll put up little memes and stuff, and they say, would you do this for $5 million? And it's something that's just, that you wouldn't normally do, right? But you got to think, people would sit back and be like, dang, for $5 million, would I do it? That right there is the thing that you got to watch out for. And this is why Solomon, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is talking through Solomon, saying a man is better if he's poor and has his integrity. Meaning that I might be poor, I might not have the you know, like the fat pockets, you know what I'm saying, I might not have the bag or the 6-figure income, but I got my morals. I have my respect for the Most High. I have the fear of God, and I have respect for myself. And I'm not gonna let money change my character. To the Lord, that's gold, man. That's gold to the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? That's gold, man. And you can only find that out by getting tested, by going through trials and tribulations, man. You can't find out what somebody's character is when everything is good. That's why it's really hard for the rich to enter into the kingdom, because what are you being tested with? What are you going through to where the Lord can see what you're really about? That's why the Lord didn't ask Abraham to sacrifice 1,000 cattle. Why? Because Abraham had 1,000 cattle. But what did Abraham have to put on the line? Something that he didn't have for a very long time that he really wanted. Abraham had servants. He had cattle. He had gold. He had silver. The Lord didn't ask for none of that. He didn't ask for none of that. He said, give me your son, who you love. You understand? You know what I mean? The rich, what are they? What pain and struggle are they going through to see what's inside of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why the Lord sides with the poor is because when the poor, who does the poor have to come to his defense? Who does the poor have to come and help him when he's going through a situation where he's in dire need of help? All he can do is call on the Most High, man. That's all he can do. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Like, we have to, I'm not saying love the poor for the sake of them being poor, but what I'm saying is that the scriptures say, exactly, sis, no one. The scriptures say that you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And what I'm saying is that, okay, they'll say think and grow rich, right? They say if you want to be rich, you can't think like a poor man. But what does that inevitably do? It makes you to hate the poor. It makes you look down on the poor. It makes you feel like the poor, oh, it's their fault. They're not working hard enough. They're not doing the things that's required to get out of that position. You dig what I'm saying? When really the poor are in this position because of our oppressor. And you've bought into the deception and bought into the lie. And now you look at the poor, and even though you're poor yourself. So it's the ultimate trick bag, because now you've deceived yourself into feeling like, because I'm manifesting riches, I'm rich, I have the feeling of being rich. You're taking on the spirit of your oppressor. And all you're going to do is look down on your own people, because everybody is needed a helping hand. Everybody's needed help. You understand? And what Christ, Yahweh Shai, want us to do is to be in that position to give the help. The same way, you know what? Let me just read it. I don't even want to keep talking. I'm gonna let the Lord speak. Let's go to Proverbs 16:8 real fast, and then I'm gonna go to another scripture to bring out this point. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's an evil thing to hate the poor of your people, because you're really hating your people. And the condition that we're in it together. We're in the same boat. You know what I mean? You looking for the helicopter to come to the boat, and they throw a little ladder down, and you're going to climb up the ladder of success and get onto the helicopter. But if you remember in Scarface, I can't think of the dude's name, but Tony Montana's sitting there with the kingpin, and they go get they put dude on the helicopter. They end up throwing him out the helicopter with a rope around his neck. You know what I'm saying? While you trying to leave your people and abandon your people and climb this ladder, once you get there, they're gonna use you and destroy you. You understand? Y'all heard about them parties in the music industry where they had them parties at the mansions? I done heard Bun B. I done heard Andre 3000. I done heard what's my man from Drink Champs? Noriega, you understand? All talk about how they go into these mansion parties, and and you can only get access to the mansion parties when you hit a certain level. And then there's certain doors in the mansion parties where there's stuff going on. And they all say the same thing. I go, I'm just looking around, seeing what's going on. I open the door, I'm like, oh, damn. Bro, I didn't know you was getting down like that. You understand? Because you can't get close to the oppressor without the oppressor making you do something that compromises you as a man or as a woman, man. You understand? You're not going to be able to get to those levels, man. You understand? This is why, and we know that already. How we know that? Because when Christ was approached by that demon, you understand? Salakia, by Satan, right? And was tempted. His last temptation was what? He said, look, man, if you bow down and worship me, I'll give you all the riches and all the kingdoms of the world. Even Christ went through that. You understand? And what did Christ say, man? Thou shalt not worship anybody but the Most High God. You understand? And what? Christ went down with what he came in with. He came in there with nothing. He went and fasted for 40 days, no food, no water. Y'all get ready for the Day of Atonement. You understand? Get ready for that Day of Atonement, man. It's only one day. Christ did 40. You be all right, okay? And Yahweh Shai went through that and came out in the same condition that he left, man. You understand? He didn't leave that situation with a whole bunch of wealth, but what did he have? He had the Spirit of the Most High, and he had the knowledge that he wouldn't. He had the knowledge of his integrity. that even when this was presented to him on a gold platter, the whole world in front of him, he'd choose his people and serving the Most High over the riches. And we got to move in that same spirit, man. Okay. This is Proverbs 16 verse 8. Salakia. Okay. It says, better is a little with righteousness, meaning it's better to not have a lot of money, but you're keeping the commandments. You're doing the things that the Most High, expects from you. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right or without justice. You understand? It's better that you're suffering and you're poor, but you're doing what the Most High says, than to have a bank account with millions in it, and you don't even care about what the Most High wants. You don't even care about the struggles of your people. You understand? And I'm gonna be real with you. When you become rich, that's what happens. You forget. Listen. What was that on? Friday Part 2, right? When Ice Cube went to go see Day Day, and Day Day Daddy was like, man, he was like, man, I got rich, and he said first thing I did was, get out the hood. You know what I mean? He said I got about the hood. He left. Because when you get rich, you don't want to be reminded of what you're trying to get away from. When really we should be trying to change the community, you know what I'm saying, and bring everybody up. Not just raise ourselves up, but bring everybody up, man. That's what the ISUPK does. That's the spirit that Commander General Yohana is raising up brothers and sisters, man, that we don't leave the hood, we don't leave the projects, we don't leave the barrios, we don't leave the reservation, we go to them. You understand? And that's what Christ did, man. Christ went to where the poor were at, and he preached the gospel to the poor. You understand? And that's what we do in the ISUPK, man. We go to our people, man, because even though we're poor, the Most High says that we're rich. Why? We're rich towards God. We're rich in courage. We're rich in righteousness and integrity. You know what I'm saying? We're rich in brotherhood. That's the currency of the kingdom. Okay? So I'm gonna read this again. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. You know what I mean? It's better for you to be serving the Most High and you don't, you know what I mean, you're living check to check than it is for you to have, bags and bags of money, and then you just out here being a whore, you a thief, you a scammer, you sell drugs to your people, you understand? Or even if you just got money and you don't give to the cause of the people. You know what I'm saying? Not giving to the priest is a sin. If you a Black Hispanic or Native Indian, you're not tithing to Commander General Yohana, you sinning against the Most High, man, because the system that the Lord gave for the priesthood was that was how we helped the people. We had money in store, so if the poor needed something, we were able to give back to the people. You understand? But we don't even want to help the poor. We look at the poor and we're disgusted with them. We look down on them. Why? Because we hate ourselves. We don't see him and then see ourselves. But that wasn't how Christ saw it. And that's not the culture that the Most High gave us. All right, let's go to Proverbs 14 and 20. You know what I mean? And like I was saying earlier, and the sister brought out, you know what I mean? The chat is that who comes to help the poor? Nobody. All the poor has is the Most High and the people that serve the Most High. Why? We're gonna read this right now. Proverbs 14 and 20. It says, "The poor is hated even of his own neighbor." That's heavy, man. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich have many friends. This is why the Lord is not concerned about the rich, because the rich, they have a network. So, and I've seen it. I've seen it, man. Donald Trump, he started off his road to wealth because his father gave him $1 million. Donald Trump has went bankrupt, I want to say at least 3 to 4 times. You understand? But he was able to get funding from his rich friends to do other ventures and bring them in on other deals to get his wealth back up again, to buy buildings, the Trump building and golf courses and all that. Why? Because the rich have friends, man. You understand? I'm going to read it again. This is Proverbs 14 and 20. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor. Why? Because when it says the poor is hated even of his own neighbor, what does that mean? The neighbor's in his neighborhood. So they got to be poor too, right? But why is the neighbor hate the poor? Because why? He don't want to be poor either. And seeing him is a reminder of what he's dealing with. It's like, man, I hate this. So I hate him because he's a reminder of where I'm at. And I'm trying to get out of this. He's hated even his own neighbor. And y'all know it. You know, when everybody's poor, it's like, it's not, the practical thing would be for all the poor to come and put and work together and bring all they have and use it to help everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got bread, right, but you got some lunch meat, pause, right, and then you got mayonnaise and mustard, and then you got potato chips, right, and then you got pickles, pause, right, and then you got pop or soda pop, right, ice chest or soda pop. If we all come together, right, we can all eat together. But you know what we do? I have bread, and then you come and ask me, hey, do you have anything to eat? No, I ain't got nothing to eat. Look, man, I don't have nothing I can give you. I can't help you. That's what we do as poor people. We don't bring what we have together. We separate ourselves from each other. And I think it's a precept that says that too, that the poor is even separated from his neighbor. We separate ourselves from each other. And that's why we stay in our condition, because we think that coming up means that I have to do it by myself and I got to get away from you to get to this position. When really our salvation is in each other. The currency that of the kingdom is brotherhood. It's us coming together, pulling our resources together and working together. That's how we come up together. You know what I'm saying? By seeing the value in each other instead of looking down on each other, right? Let me go to let me see. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 13 verse 20. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. All right? If you following along, and the Apocrypha was books that the Protestants removed out of the original 1611 King James Bible. You understand? You can buy an original 1611 King James Bible, but it's written in like the old English, where like the J's are I's, and it's a couple letters that they switch around, so it may be difficult for you to read the old English. But they do have some Bibles where it's in current English, or you could just get you order you an Apocrypha. Now, even though the book is separate from the actual King James Bible, the original King James Bible had these 14 books in there, okay? So this is, they want to tell you that it's not canon or it's not spiritually inspired. It's not true, man. You understand? But Ecclesiasticus, this was written by Solomon, all right? So, I'm sure most of y'all watching have it, but if you don't have it, you can just order it off of Amazon, okay? The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 20, all right? And it says, as the proud hate humility. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been seeing that a lot too, man, on these like little, YouTube and, Instagram reels. People talking about, you know what I'm saying, man, like, why be humble? You know what I mean? Just, don't humble down because somebody else, you know what I'm saying, it makes them feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It says, as the proud hate humility. You know what I mean? Somebody who's proud, they can't stand somebody that's humble. Now, I'm not talking about humble in the sense of you're not competent. I'm talking about you being competent, but you being like respectful. You know what I mean? Not being arrogant. You understand? Sometimes like my father, man, he thought being humble was just being quiet and keeping your head down. That's not what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a man, have your head up, but realizing that there's always somebody that's greater than you. I serve greater men than myself, that I might learn what it means to be great. Because what I thought being great was in the world is not what great is. The men above me in the ISUPK, all the men above me, and really even some of my peers, you know what I'm saying? And really even the men who are beneath my rank, you can learn from everybody. But I serve men that are greater than myself, so I can understand what it means to what it means to be a man of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? A great man. And you can only gain that by realizing that, by having humility, by not feeling like you know it all. You know what I'm saying? By having a cup that's empty. You You understand? In order to get filled up. You understand? That's the humility that it's talking about. But the proud, the person who feels like they know it all, they got it all, and who are the proud? The rich. The rich are the proud. Because why? They feel like any problem I have, I can solve it with money. Right? The scriptures even say that money is a great defense. And money answers all things. So the rich are like, man, what do I need brotherhood for? What do I need the Lord for? I got all this money. I'm not calling out to the Lord. I'm good. If I got a problem, you know what I mean, with the police, I'll just pay the fine or I'll pay my lawyers. If I got a problem with you know what I'm saying, with my family, I just pay the best doctors. If my family gets sick, I pay the best doctors. If I got a problem in, you know what I mean, in my neighborhood, I'll go buy another house or I'll buy their house and get them and move them out and buy them out. If I got a problem with a criminal problem, I can bribe the judge. The rich are proud, and they hate the humble. They abhor the humble. Okay, let's keep reading. Ecclesiasticus chapter 13, verse 20 and 21. As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor. The same way how a proud man hates the humble man is the way the rich hate the poor. They hate it. It's like, man, you can't. Why don't you go get a job? Why don't you do something? You know what I mean? Like it's like they're disgusted by it, man. And we can't take that spirit on, you know what I'm saying, as the children of Israel, as the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, man. That's the spirit of our oppressor. That's the spirit of the devil, man. We can't take on that spirit. All right. Verse 21. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends. I've seen so many interviews and stories of this, man. Of these our oppressors and even other, you know, rich people, man, of other nations. They've always had a situation like where they've lost it all, but they've had other rich people to come and give them help to get them back on that climb, you know what I mean, to success. But the poor, when the poor fall, don't nobody give a damn. You know what I mean? It's like, good night. Really, they teach you this in like the law of attraction. They teach you to that, you know, to help the poor is like to put their problems on you, and then you'll start to become poor yourself. You know what I mean? That's what they teach you. You know what I mean? Let's keep reading. As a rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends. You know, like it seems like you ever have it to where like you going through something like your car break down, and then like you know your bank account going to overdraft. It's like it'd be one thing after another, right? And then you try to call for help from your friends, and they're like, man, I ain't got it, man. I can't do nothing. I can't help you. It's like they run away from you, man. They're like, I got my own problems. I can't take on your problems too. You know what I'm saying? But a poor man being down is thrust away from his friends. Okay? But let's see what Christ said, how we supposed to what Christ said we supposed to do, man. How we supposed to deal with our people, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Let me read one more out of Proverbs, and then we're going to move on to the book of Matthew, okay? Because like I said, we got to find out what the currency of the kingdom is, man. And the currency of the kingdom, you know what I'm saying, is brotherhood, is love, man. All right? It's the love for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Proverbs 14, verse 31. All right? He that oppresseth the poor reproaches his maker. When you oppress the poor, our oppressor, he don't even realize him plotting on us, trying to destroy so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, taking away the land of the Native American, putting them on reservations. You understand? Drilling pipelines under his land. You know what I'm saying? The patent company, which steals all of our black inventors' ideas and make millions off of it, stealing the ideas. You understand? Take the NBA, the NFL, who take the strength and the salt of our people and exploit and make profit off of us, man. They oppress the poor, man. You understand? The music industry, which locks us into these 360 deals, these contracts that rob our people of the revenues of their talent. You know what I'm saying? Musically, they don't realize they're reproaching the Most High. What does reproach mean? It means to disrespect. You understand? It means to reproach. It's almost like damn near like condemnation. In fact, you know what? Let me look that up, man. What the word reproach means instead of me, you know what I mean, stabbing at the air. Let's get that word reproach. Reproacheth his maker. All right. Reproach definition. Let's see. Reproach, man, to address in such a way as to express disapproval and disappointment. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So basically it's like reproaching, let me see real quick. So let me get back to that. He who oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, meaning that you acting like the Most High made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the scriptures say that the rich and the poor, the Lord is the maker of them both. You understand? The Lord made the poor and he made the rich. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you oppressing them. The Lord wants them to be helped. You dig what I'm saying? The law says that the poor you always going to have with you. Christ said that. The poor you always going to have with you. You dig what I'm saying? And in our culture, the Lord instituted a system, you know what I'm saying, to support the poor, to help those that are weak. And we're about to go there in a second, man. But it says, Proverbs 14:31, he that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honors him hath mercy on the poor. Meaning that if you honor the Most High, if you respect the Most High, you'll show the poor mercy. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? By giving them help, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 7. And then we're going to go in with Matthew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, but you know what I'm saying? We can't have the spirit of our oppressor, man. The spirit of you know what I mean? The people, the nation that you know, that don't desire us, man. You know what I'm saying? We're a nation not desired. And we're only desired for our labor. We're only desired for what we can do for them. We can't have that spirit amongst our people. All right? Deuteronomy 15, verse 7. And it reads, if there be among you a poor man of thy brethren within any of thy gates in thy land, which the Lord thy God gives thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thy hand from thy poor brother. This is the brotherhood that the Most High instituted amongst our people as a nation. This is the currency that we're supposed to have amongst each other. You understand? This is not like a hand-to-hand exchange. This is talking about the brotherhood that we have towards each other as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. That if there was someone poor amongst our people, that we don't harden our heart against them. And that's what goes on in our community right now, man. We sell drugs to each other. We pimp our sisters out because our heart is hardened. We try to exploit our own people to come up because our heart is hardened. Or if we have the ability to help, we don't want to help because we feel like we're going to lose out by helping the poor. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't pay us back. But the scriptures say, and you know, I had it as a precept. I'm a paraphrase, but the scripture says that when you lend unto the poor, you understand, even though he can't repay you, it says the Lord is going to repay you. And let me tell you something. You getting something from the Most High is better than you getting exactly what you gave back from your brother. A lot of times, man, we'll hold a grudge over somebody that owed us $20 for 15 and 20 years. I've been in family reunions where it's my aunties and uncles that you know, or cousins that got beef because someone didn't pay them back $15 from 10, 15 years ago. And we'll hold grudges over that, man. But the scriptures say that when you give to the poor and he can't give back to you, the Lord will repay you. You know what I'm saying? That's in the scriptures. All right? So we're not to harden our hearts against our brothers, man. All right? Salaki, let's keep going. This is Deuteronomy 15, 7 through 11, all right? It says, thou shalt not harden thy heart, nor shut thy hand from thy poor brother, but thou shalt open thy hand wide unto him. Open it wide. It means really, it's like what Christ said, man. If your brother asks you to go 1 mile with him, go 2. You know what I mean? Do more than what he asked for. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be real with you, man. I got people in my life that do that. I'll ask for something, and they'll go above and beyond what I asked for, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially my ribs. They do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, yo, I need this. I don't really be asking for too much. And they're you know, sometimes they you know, they just top off on way higher than that. And that's the spirit we're supposed to be in, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when your camp leader asks you, like, you know what I'm saying, like, are you going to help with the feast or you know what I mean? And they ask for a pan of rice. You make 2 pans of rice, 3 pans of rice. You throw some beans in the rice. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to go above and beyond for our people. Why? Because no other nation is going above and beyond for us. Nobody's going to care for us the way that we're going to care for ourselves. So we should love each other as we would want somebody to love us, man. We should give up that brotherhood the way that we would want it for ourselves. Hand that out, give that out, right? Open his hand wide unto him, and thou shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need. In that which he wanteth, or in that which he lacketh, right? Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart or mind, saying, the 7th year, the year of release is at hand. Now, what is the 7th year, the year of release? What that means is that if an Israelite brother or sister fell into poverty, you could go to your brother, like he was in debt. You could go to your brother and say, hey, I'm right now I'm in debt. I want to work off this debt by working for you. And for 7 years, you could have an Israelite brother or sister like be your servant in a way. Not like how you would be a servant have them as a servant like how you would deal with the heathen, right, with rigorous bondage, but they have to like work for you. So to be like if you had like a restaurant like a Chick-fil-A and they owed you like maybe, I don't know, $4,000 and they say, I'm going to come work for you, you know what I'm saying, for this amount of time. And to pay the debt off. So you would let them come work for you. So like you let them be like work the register or something like that, or you know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't have them be like a slave with a, you know what I mean, as a heathen would. But the 7th year of release was that no matter whether they finished paying you off or not, if they worked for you for those 7 years, the Lord had a law that you had to release them and cancel their debt. So they owed you $10,000 and they worked for you for 7 years and they were only paid off $6,000. On the 7th year, you had to let them go and cancel what they owed you, right? So the Lord is saying, don't have it be in your head, have this wicked thought in your mind where the 7th year of release is coming up, right? And so this is what he's saying. Let's read on, okay? Saying that the 7th year, the year of release is at hand, and thy eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him not. So this could mean that the person that owes you money, they're in need of something, and they working for you. You're like, man, the 7th year release is coming up. I ain't gonna help them because they finna get free anyway, and I'm about to cancel their debt anyway. So I don't want to help them out anyhow. The Lord saying that's a wicked thought. You know what I mean? If the person is in need of something right then and there, you're supposed to open up what you got and give it to them to help them. And this is in the mind of the Most High on how we're supposed to deal with each other as a people in our culture. Okay. Reading on. The 7th year, the year of release is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him not. And he cry unto the Lord against thee. You dig what I'm saying? And it be sin unto thee. Not being willing to help your brother, having brotherhood, is sin to the Lord. It's a sin, man. You're breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? Not a lack of brotherhood is unlawful. Okay? It's serious to the Most High. All right? Thou shalt surely give him, and thine heart shall not be grieved. Meaning, you know, the Christian church love to say the Lord loves a cheerful giver. The Christian pastor used that to rob the people. He wants you to be happy while you filling up his pockets so he can buy that Rolls Royce Cullinan and have that 10-bedroom mansion and that private jet. He says the Lord loves a cheerful giver. That's not what the Lord was talking about. What he was saying is that when it's time for you to help your brother or your sister, don't be grieved about like, damn, why give him that $20, man? I want to give me that bottle of tequila. Or I wanted to go to the club, or I wanted to, you know what I mean, give me that new pair of J's, and I had to give this money to them. He's saying don't be grieved about it. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. When you helping your brother, your sister, you're helping yourself. And the Lord is helping us all. All right, moving on. All right. Thou shalt surely give him, and thine heart shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him. Because that for this thing the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy works. See, a lot of us, man, we got like a small vision. We can't see like the big picture. You dig what I'm saying? We holding on to that $20 when the Lord might have you get blessed with a new job. You might get like a new job offer, right? Where you're making like, you know, you having an increase in your in your pay. Or maybe you have a business that you've been working on, and the Lord brings in a whole another side of your business that increases your business, or you get new customers. It says the Lord will bless you in all your works. And sometimes sometimes the Lord blessing you in your works, and it ain't always got to be financial. It could be in other. It could be in relationships, man. The Lord has you come across somebody that can help you with a larger network to increase your business, or maybe you're like, you know, like for instance, and so I'm saying this carefully, Salakia, General Haas, his I believe it was his son or daughter. I don't know if it was his son or his daughter, but they had like 3 or 4 scholarships for college to pay for all their tuition. You understand? And as a father, that's a blessing that your child is moving into higher education, and now that the tuition is covered, and you ain't got to worry about the tuition. Because General Haas, as all the generals and Commander General Yohana, they give their lives for the people. So the Lord and the giving ain't just about financial giving, even though the generals take care of the people financially, but they give the knowledge of God. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says that the priest's lips should keep knowledge. They give the knowledge of God to the people for our benefit. They sacrifice their lives for that, and they teach us to sacrifice our lives and give to the people in this work. And the Lord bless General Haas's child to be able to go to college with the tuition paid. So he'll bless you in all your works. You never know how the Lord's going to do it. You dig what I'm saying? Let's keep reading. All right. And in all that thou puttest thine hand to do, meaning that whatever you set your mind to do because you went and helped your brother out and he couldn't pay you back, but the Lord's going to increase what you got going on in other areas, man. So you should be quick to want to give because the Lord is going to increase you in ways that you didn't even think about. All right. Here we go. This is moving on. I think this is verse 10. For the poor shall never cease out of thy land. This is what Christ said when he said the poor shall always be with you. This is what Moses wrote, because the Lord is saying this. The poor are always going to be with us. I'm not talking about the kingdom when Christ comes, but we may have poor in the kingdom as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what the Lord is saying right now is that the poor are always going to be with you. Meaning what? We have to keep them in mind. We have to care. The same way as like children will always be with us. You got to consider the kids, the children. You got to make provisions to protect the children. It's the same ways with the poor. We have to keep that in mind and and the Lord gave us a system in place to take care of our own, to take care of the poor. Whereas in America, they don't give a damn about the poor. You understand? And a lot of our people have taken on that spirit to where we don't give a damn about our own people either. When really nobody gives a damn about any of us if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. You understand? So we got to learn how to exchange with the currency that the Most High gave us, and that's brotherhood. So in this system, you don't get to get back. It's not I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It's I give to you. You're not able to help. You're not able to give it back. I shouldn't even be looking for it to come back, but the Lord blesses us. You understand? In other ways, man. All right. For the poor shall never cease out of thy land. Therefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt open thy hand wide unto thy brother, to the poor, and to the needy in thy land. All right? Now I'm going to read this last scripture, and then we're going to close out. All right? This is Matthew 25, because you got to understand, this is going to impact your position in the kingdom. You dig what I'm saying? Matthew 25. Let me see. Start at... Start at verse 34. All right. This is Yahushua speaking. You understand? And he's talking about how we deal with the poor, how we deal with the weak of our people. Okay. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye, blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Verse 37. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? And when saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? This is Christ saying, when I was hungry, when I was a stranger, when I was in prison, when I didn't have clothes to put on, when I was thirsty, you fed me. You gave me something to drink. You clothed me. You visited me in prison. When I was sick, you came to see about me, right? And the righteous is going to say, Christ, when was you ever in that position, right? Verse 40, and the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, right? Ye have done it unto me. So Christ is Yahushai's king. That's what we say. Who is your king? Yahushai. Yahushai. Christ is king. Christ is the ruler of the nation of Israel and the ruler of the earth, man, under the Most High, right? And what is his mindset? His mindset is he's thinking that I'm the poor. And in the nation of Israel, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, no matter what status that we get to or position that we get to in terms of like career, education, or money-wise, we have to identify with the poor. We have to think about the poor, that whatever you're doing to them, you're doing to me. You understand? That's the currency of the kingdom, okay? Verse 41, it says, inasmuch as you have done it unto the least of these my brethren, you have done it unto me. You understand? And that's how we're going to get our position in the kingdom, man. You understand? Is by loving by loving our brother as ourselves, as by identifying ourselves with those that are oppressed and with the poor, and whatever strength that we have, we use that to strengthen those that are weak. You understand? And with that, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna go ahead and close out the class. Salakia. You know what I'm saying? This is the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command General Yohana. This is ISUPK Killeen Brotherhood class. I'm Officer Tapazar, Precinct Officer Tapazar. You know what I'm saying? Be sure to come in for class tomorrow, the Wednesday law class. You know what I mean? Check us out at 7 p.m. You know what I mean? Thursday is scripture breakdown with General Mahaiman. And Friday is the Lashawan Kodash class with Officer Carl Kazai. And Saturday is Sabbath service, man. Y'all stay tuned in. If you have any questions, you know what I'm saying, just put them in the chat or hit me in the inbox, and we'll address that next class. You know what I'm saying? With that, shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakathum to the brothers, and shalom, Yahweh Shemalatham Bashem Yahshua to the sisters. You know what I mean?